Guys, back in today with another reaction on the channel. Today we're reacting to the first episode of I Want to Love You Till Your Dying Day, which sounds like an incredibly sad title. I mean, it sounds nice, but sounds like the show might be a little bit depressing. I think it's a romance. I'm not too sure about anything other than that. One of the big reasons I picked it up actually is because the ratings for the source material are really high. So it's a very beloved source material, I do assume. So hopefully this can do it justice. But I did notice the actually aired a week or two ago with an early premiere, but I get to watch it, so I'm here on the scheduled release date. But yeah, looking forward to this one. Really looking forward to this one. One of my more anticipated shows this season, just because I've kind of heard good things about the material. Well, it's already someone's dying there. Some I know what you did last summer type stuff right here. What is that? Oh my god! What a horrible way to kill someone. Oh, it's like magic. To say, can you imagine getting killed with that thing? It's not even sharp. Jesus, what the hell's going on here? I didn't realise this would be a supernatural type of show. I thought he's just stabbed her with that thing. Always love a bit of Rie Takahashi. Honestly, I got a bit of a crush on Rie Takahashi. I think she's really cute. I mean, I love her voice, but I think she's really cute as well. It's like a magic girls' school. Teacher doesn't seem too affected. Too many of the students. So yeah, clearly a semi-regular occurrence. Oh, so that's like a wand. Okay. Pretty funny looking wand. A sword wand thing. Hers looks a lot more smooth than the one we saw in the intro. Yeah, now. Oh, there are boys here. Okay, I think so. What? She's absolutely right to speak up. Well, I say this quite often. I'm not sure if it is the case there, but there seems to be a demographic of people that just love to watch anything Yuri, anything with lesbians in, no matter how good or bad it is. Um, I will pause so I don't miss anything. And I kind of get it in a way, but it's also just like it could be the worst slop we've ever seen, and it seems like people might still like it just because it still has that kind of representation in. And I'm not a fan of that kind of stuff. I've said it before in plenty of my reaction to like gay shows like Gambara, Nekamura-kun, Summer Hikaru died and stuff like that. I'm not just going to like these shows because they have that involved. I'm not. Uh, it's got to be done well. It's got to be good. Like there's no point in people amping up and like supporting a show that has that stuff if it's not written and done well. If it's just there for like I think of I always bring this up as an example, Lazarus, which I only watched like 4 or 5 episodes of and I did drop, which introduced the transgender character, but it introduced a transgender character just to introduce a transgender character. They didn't have any importance to the story. They didn't have there was almost like no point of them being transgender because we didn't actually cover that whatsoever in the episodes I did watch. That might have changed. I don't think it did, but and I'm not just gonna herald it because of that, because it introduced that thing. Like at least do something like deeper with it. I did see like people were quite happy with like, yes, representation. It's like, well, that's not the representation you want. You want representation that actually kind of like, yeah. Sorry to get on a bit of a rant there, but as I said, I'm not one to just like to see something like this and be like, oh yes, lesbian girls. No. If it's done really well, I'll really enjoy it. But, like I'm not like I'm a straight man myself. Again, I brought up Ganbare Nakamura-kun. Um, if it's like I'm gonna enjoy like watching two gay boys like have a good relationship if it's done really well. Like yeah, hopefully you get what I'm trying to say there. I'm not easily pleased in that regard, and it seems a lot of people are. As I said, especially with Yuri, it feels like a lot of people really eat up anything in that kind of genre. So, um, if this is that genre, I guess it makes sense why the ratings are high. But even so, the ratings are that high. I imagine it is done very well in this show. If this is that type of show, it might not be. I might have just got the wrong impression there. Bunny. I imagine the school kind of prepares you for it, doesn't it? If it's like a warfare training place, it prepares you for people close to you dying. Or these lazy witches can't even tidy up without me. I can't remember what show I was watching, but I had a really fun like look at that. Where it was like, you shouldn't use magic to clean up. Your existence just kind of erased like that. That's what's going to happen to me. There she is. Oh no, this is the person that murdered her? Oh, how's this? Pig. Oh yeah, definitely seems like it. They'll just come back from like a war or something, or is this the murderer we just saw? Like, what the hell's going on? Ooh. Joe, I always have. I don't know if it's an irrational fear. It's never happened to me, thankfully. And it sounds very stupid, but I always have like a fear of putting a plaster on wrong and having the sticky bit on the cut and then having to rip off the sticky bit from the cut. And that just like, I hate the thought of that sensation. Never happened to me, thank God. Um, I'm always very conscious to have a plaster that's maybe a bit too big so that that doesn't happen. Who's though? This is a question. Why are you so close? Good deal, girl. I'm gonna kind of assume she came from like a war or something. So does that mean the person that killed the girl in the intro was one of the students here? I'll go back to it at the end of the episode. Go back to that, watch that scene again. I mean, they could just be wearing a similar cloak, but oh, the wand was the same. It was a little again. I did notice it was quite a bit more rugged than the ones that all the students had in that scene. Maybe it was our main character, honestly, in that intro. I mean, it obviously wasn't. uh, she didn't seem to be able to conjure up her wand very well. Oh, like man. Oh, she seems cute. A little bit out of touch, I guess. One. See that is that necessary? Open the door. Say door, lady. Maybe it's some kind of magically locked door, but a bit fancy for fancy's sake. So she's a new, or orphan. To bring up her mama. Reckon that was maybe her mama's blood or something. Now she's going to be our new roommate, I do assume. Okay, pretty interesting start. I guess I can go back to the intro now. That was her roommate dying here, but yeah, the kind of coat is the same coat that all the orphans wear. I think it's got a little blood in it. It looks reasonably tall. Not sure we get too much of a good view of whoever this is. There's a lightning strike here, but you don't actually get to see any. I mean, I don't know if this is weird to say, but it kind of looks like a man from the hands and the arm here, but could easily not be. I'm not. It's not really much that points that out, but again, I think the big thing here is that the wand sword thing does look very. It doesn't look smooth at all. I mean, it looks quite manly. The slight part of the face we see here, but yeah. As I said, I think the biggest thing is definitely the wand thing here, so got to keep a lookout for that. Yeah, I find it interesting because it's like some kind of battlefield. It's very interesting that both sides of the battle wear the same outfit. Is that not just going to be really confusing? I've never played this game, but it kind of reminds me of that Rainbow Six Siege game. I mean, I've never really watched much or played it at all, but I saw a clip yesterday, and I was just like, and it was someone shooting their own team member, and it's like, how the hell did you even tell them apart? I wouldn't be able to tell them apart in that game if I played it. I'd be doing that a lot. That to me. Okay. I assume she's maybe slightly younger. It's the rice ball girl. Yeah, guaranteed. So she was here from 10 years old, but she's only now just enrolled in a class. I wonder why. She does seem slightly younger than the rest, just in terms of how she is, but I'm going to assume she's around the same age. Maybe she's like a year or two ahead. Maybe she's extremely skilled or something. But that wasn't her mum's blood or anything that we just saw. Okay. I was thinking maybe her mum literally just like died that last scene, and she just came here after that. But no, they're kind of like rice boxes. That's rough. Huh. Gotta eviscerate the bodies as soon as possible. The bye bye man. The pee pee poo poo man. God. Out of yeah, no context here whatsoever, but I remember that I was really looking forward to that movie. The Bye Bye Man. Really looking forward to it. God, was it awful. They quite the feast. That's a lot of bread. Yeah, these two guys seemed pretty nice, didn't they? Yeah, why are you not speaking? Why do you not introduce yourself? Back to me. Where does everybody know her from? Generations? I mean generations. I think we know a bit about that. What do they mean generations? Is there like, I mean, is it not specifically her? Like, there's always like a Mimi here. That's like a code name. Oh, 1738. Probably Mimi, right? Let's go. We've got to take the bread with us. Oh, she's very cute, isn't she? What kind of secret weapon? Interesting. As I said, I'm really intrigued. Why the hell you got a knife? Why are you putting a knife at her? What about? What the hell, lady? This girl's ominous, honestly. It's like slightly tanned girl. I almost feel a bit creeped out by her. But yeah, as I said, this generation stuff. Like, is there always like a Mimi? Has it been her the whole time? Does she not grow up? Like, interesting. But have you guys ever seen an ugly bloody doctor at school or anything like this? Are they always so like sexual? Sexual is probably wrong. Sexy. I don't know. A legendary secret weapon. It doesn't change the fact she's just coming over from murdering a bunch of people. No, she did a pretty good job of avoiding the question there, actually, didn't she? Okay, so yeah, it does seem like there's a few like stuff going on in this show. These people though, oh, they look so they look a bit raggedy. They just come back as well or something. Restoration magic. Is that why they look a bit raggedy? Trying to restore each other. Well, that's interesting. Interesting way of healing magic. I guess it kind of makes sense, but yeah. Healing magic. You did just learn about it. Kind of assumed that was what's going to happen here. So yeah, this is going to be like a Euro show. Okay. Again, I hope it's not the case that the source material is just highly regarded just because of that, which is unfortunately a genuine kind of worry. But pretty good start, to be honest. As I said, like that is a genuine worry for me. I like, as I said, I just like I go to discussions about shows that include this type of stuff, and that's all you ever hear people talk about. They never talk about the quality of the story or the characters or anything. They're just happy to see girls together. Um. So yeah, let me know if this is like, if you guys have read the source material or anything, if it is just like more than that. I mean, it seems like it will be because the setup's been really interesting. I mean, I can't lie, just based off my initial reaction, it does feel like, I'm not saying lazy, but it does feel like a little bit funny that this healing magic is girls kissing. It feels very I don't know if contrived is the right word, but that feels like a way just to have girls kissing on screen. Or give a reason to it. But yeah, maybe there's more to it later on or something. I don't know. But as I said, really good start actually. The production looks really nice. It's from this studio called Roll 2, which I'm not sure I've seen anything from before. Definitely not a name I recognise. Might have watched a show or two from them. I'll have a look quickly. But as I said, really solid first episode. Really solid first episode. If I can get it up. But yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of this studio, which is something I did notice when I looked up that I'd be watching this. Roll 2 Studio. Maybe it's a. Oh yeah, it does have here in the genres fantasy and girls love. So as I said, that I mean I spoke about it halfway through the episode, so I'm not going to yap about it too much. But that is a genuine worry of mine. That is it just highly rated because it's a Yuri show? That could very much be the case, and it would be very unfortunate if that is the case. Um, yeah, this is a relatively new studio. I haven't seen any of their other projects. They've only done 7 or 8 other actual projects, none of which are awfully popular. There's this like one reasonably popular one here, but it's not very highly regarded, called Love is Invisible by Twins. Um, again, I haven't checked out, but it's not very highly regarded. So yeah, I haven't actually watched any of their other stuff here. But I think this episode looked really good. The production was great. Looked good. I mean, it wasn't anything like spectacular, but it looked really good all throughout. Consistently good as well. Again, interesting setup here with this kind of orphanage where they kind of prepare girls for like war and send them to this battlefield. I'd definitely love to learn a bit more about this whole kind of battle and war that's going on and such. A bit of backstory regarding that, a bit of like knowledge of who's the enemy and such. Hopefully we do get into that at some point. But really interesting setup for the characters so far. I'm kind of glad they did focus purely on the characters in this first episode, as so we can get into that kind of more story stuff later on. But yeah, some really awesome personalities like Mimi a lot. She's really cute. Our main character here, whose name I can't forget, uh, Otsuki or something like that. I think it was. Um, she was really nice. Again, I love her voice actress, of course. But yeah, just like some pretty good kind of setting up of the world and characters here. I like both of these girls. They might seem like they have something going on. I mean, they seem extremely close at the very least. But yeah, it was a good episode. It kind of, I mean, it's not much I like whatsoever, but it does remind me a little bit of a show I watched a little while ago, which I really enjoyed. That was This Monster Wants to Eat Me. I really enjoyed that show, a lot more than most people. And that was like a girls' love kind of show, but it was much more than like just that. So I'm hoping the same could be said about this. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about this one in the comments. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you guys did enjoy it, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date. And I'll catch you guys next week with episode 2.